Welcome to the Business of Style podcast with me, your host, Louisa Gabriel. I'm a personal stylist and image strategist who grew a successful six-figure business, and now I'm educating and empowering other personal stylists and image professionals just like you to do the same. So please keep listening to hear the lessons I've learned and the strategies I've used along the way that are guaranteed to take your personal styling career from side hustle to six figures too. Welcome to the latest episode of the Business of Style podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about something that could be quietly costing you clients for your personal styling business without you even realizing it. And that thing is brand misalignment. If you've ever felt like your business isn't attracting the kind of clients you want to work with, or maybe you're working hard to grow your visibility, but it's just not converting into inquiries, this episode is going to shine a light on one of the most common reasons why, which is your brand might be sending mixed messages. So get comfy, grab yourself a notebook, and let's dive in. So let's start with the basics. When I say brand alignment, what I'm talking about is the consistency between who you are, what you offer, and how you present you and your business. As stylists, our personal brand is everything. Clients hire us not just because we can put together an outfit, but because they believe we actually represent the style, the lifestyle, and the level of professionalism that they aspire to. So, brand alignment is about ensuring that every touch point, your Instagram feed, your website, the way you dress, the tone of your emails, and even the brands that you associate with all reflect the same message. When that message is consistent, people immediately get what you do and who you're for. But when there's that misalignment, when your visuals, your voice, or your behavior don't match your niche, it creates confusion. And in business, confusion can often kill trust. So let's take a look at some real examples because this is where it gets interesting. So imagine you're positioning yourself as a luxury stylist. You want to work with those high net worth clients who value exclusivity, refinement, and sophistication. But on your Instagram stories, you're sharing Zara hauls, or you're talking about budget capsule wardrobes, or showing yourself shopping at Nordstrom Rack. Now, there's absolutely nothing wrong with the rack or with budget content, but it doesn't align with the expectations of a luxury client. They're not looking for those bargains. They're looking for an elevated experience and someone who reflects the lifestyle that they live or maybe even want to live. Another example, you might call yourself a professional image consultant, specializing in corporate clients, yet your own outfits on social media are more casual, maybe even sometimes a little messy, and you've got, the Crocs on one too many times, or you're too trend focused. Your tone might be a bit too chatty or informal. So for a corporate audience, that might feel off brand. Or maybe you're a sustainable stylist, but you're promoting fashion brands or constantly buying new clothes, which goes against everything that that sustainability is about. Even if you love fashion and you just want to share it, it sends that conflicting message about your values. Maybe you're even a sustainable stylist who's using AI images on social media. We know the negative impact that generating AI content has on the environment. And this also doesn't align with a sustainable value system and business. The key is this. every action you take, online or offline, either reinforces your brand or weakens it. So, why is this such a big deal? Well, simply because clients want to see themselves in your brand. If they can't picture themselves working with you, or if your brand feels inconsistent with what they value, they'll simply move on to someone else. So, let me give you an example. Early in my career, when I first started my styling business in Drake, Massachusetts, if you listen to the last episode, I'm sure you actually know where Drake is now. But I position myself as an everyday stylist working with real women. I wasn't targeting celebrities or high end clients. I was focusing on busy professionals and moms who wanted to feel confident and stylish without spending a fortune. But in the beginning, I was trying to look too polished. And I think it was because I came from a corporate background. That had been my work experience and a big part of my life. So I was trying to look too polished. My photos that I used felt overly formal, think of structured blazers, heels, luxury handbags. It looked aesthetically great, but it didn't connect with the women that I wanted to reach. It wasn't until I softened my image, I showed more approachable looks, shared relatable styling tips, and talked about realistic budgets that my business really started to grow. And yes, my niche has definitely changed since those days, but so has my brand to ensure that it aligned with my clients every step of the way. So that's really when I realized that alignment attracts, misalignment repels. So let's say that again. Alignment attracts, misalignment repels. That's something important that you need to remember to help your business grow. When your message, visuals, voice all match the client that you're trying to attract, you become magnetic. But when they don't, people sense that disconnect and they don't trust that you are the right fit for them. So, how do you know if your brand might be misaligned? Well, here's a few questions to reflect on. Number one, would your ideal client resonate with your current image? Look at your latest Instagram posts, your website photos, and even maybe go to your LinkedIn profile if you have one. Would your dream client feel like you get them? Number two, does your style reflect your niche? If you're a minimalist stylist, but your personal outfits are very bold and maximalist, that's going to create confusion for anybody who is thinking about working with you. Number three, is your pricing consistent with your positioning? Luxury clients are going to expect a premium experience, and that also includes premium rates, your onboarding process, and even your presentation materials. Everything needs to speak luxury and premium when working with luxury clients. Number four, are your visuals cohesive? So, your brand colors, your fonts, your photography style should all be telling the same story. A sleek monochromatic website doesn't pair well with casual, unfiltered Instagram selfies. So, you need to think about the visuals and creating that cohesiveness with them too. Number five, are you speaking your client's language? Every niche has its own vocabulary. A high end client doesn't want to hear about budget shopping, while an everyday client might feel alienated by words like couture and atelier. So, if you are unsure, ask for feedback from trusted peers or even clients that you have. Sometimes we can be too close to our brand to actually see the gaps ourselves. So it's always worth having that extra set of eyes to take a look and make sure that we aren't in misalignment. So, what do you do if you realize that your brand has kind of drifted? Well, first of all, you don't panic, okay? Realignment is a normal part of business growth, and often can be the catalyst for the next level of success. As I mentioned earlier, I realigned my business every step of the way when I started to change my niche and really develop my personal styling business into the image strategy business that it has become today. We just realign. This is all normal part of business. So here's how to start if you want to realign your brand. Step one, I want you to revisit your ideal client profile. These can often be called avatars, profile, whatever you call them. You need to revisit that profile. Who do you really want to serve? Get specific about their lifestyles, their income, their shopping habits, and their pain points. If you haven't already identified your target client, then you need to go back and actually do it. That should be one of the first things you do when starting your personal styling or image consultant business. And there is a previous episode that you can go back that I talk about this. Step two, audit your brand touch points. Now, remember, touch points are any kind of interaction point that we have with potential clients. So look at everything from your website, your logo, to your own personal wardrobe that you're wearing in videos and images, and the captions and the language that you are using. Does each piece reflect that client's world? Think closely about it and do a deep audit into every touch point, every communication that you have with potential clients, whether it be having a conversation with them, whether it be a podcast, whether it be a photo that you've put on Instagram. Audit your brand touch points. Step three, refine your visuals. You don't have to do a full rebrand, okay? Sometimes simple tweaks like using a consistent filter on your images or updated photographs or a more aligned color palette can make a huge difference. If your profile picture is a profile picture from 10 years ago, update it. So, number one, it's a true reflection of who you are right now. But number two, it is in more alignment with where you and your business are right now. Step four, adjust your messaging. Make sure that your content speaks directly to your ideal client's needs. And I've talked about this in other episodes before too. So, for instance, if you serve executives, focus on things like presence, confidence, and authority. If you serve creative individuals, highlight that self expression and that individuality. Your messaging has to speak, your content has to speak directly to your client's needs. And step five, embody your brand daily. Now, this is a huge one, and you've heard so many people say it before that you are your brand. And it is true, and very much so when you are a personal stylist. So, you are your best marketing tool. The way you dress, the way you speak, and even the way you show up on a Zoom call is going to communicate your brand before you ever have to say a word. So make sure in these circumstances and in your daily interactions, your daily life, that you embody what your brand is, that it all is in alignment. So I also want to say this. Aligning your brand doesn't mean pretending to be something that you're not, right? Authenticity, we know, is the foundation of trust. It's been a big theme in many podcast episodes over the past year, and it continues to be the foundation for a successful business. Okay. Authenticity is the foundation of trust, and trust is how you're going to get clients. So it's not about wearing designer labels to look luxury or copying someone else's aesthetic. It's about elevating your own authentic style to match the level of client that you want to serve. So, if you're a stylist who loves affordability and accessibility, own that. You can actually build a six-figure business around helping everyday women look incredible on a budget. You don't have to work with high-end clients to be a six-figure stylist. But if you do adore luxury, lean into that unapologetically. Show that you live and you breathe the world that your clients aspire to. Alignment is clarity. It is not perfection, and we don't want to mistake the two. So, here's the truth. Your brand is your reputation in just a visual form. And when it's aligned, it does the selling for you. When it's not, it quietly drives clients away, which we don't want. So, take some time this week, do a mini brand audit, and ask yourself these two things. Does my brand feel like the business I want to run? And would my dream client trust me based on what they see and hear from me? If the answer is anything less than a confident yes, that's your sign that you need to make just a few tweaks to your business and your brand. And remember this, it is not about being perfect, it's about being intentional. So that's it. That's today's episode. I thank you so much for tuning in once again. If you found this episode helpful, please take a moment to make sure you follow, you subscribe, and leave a review. It helps more stylists find us and build their dream businesses too. And until next time, stay stylish, stay aligned, and keep on building the business of your dreams. If you enjoyed today's episode of the Business of Style podcast, then don't forget to hit subscribe so you'll be notified when a new episode is available. And of course, if you're looking for additional training and resources to help you in your career as a personal stylist, then be sure to visit my website, styleacademyintl.com.